twists and comes out.
Okay, I held the window up with some clear packing tape on each side. That way when we take this motor out, I don't know if the window is going to want to drop or not, but we can take that tape off after we're done and use some Goo Gone or something to get any residue off. Okay, so now we're going to drill a 1/2-inch hole in those spots that I showed you earlier, where that dimple is, and then there's another dimple behind these wires here that I'll get to. Let me see if I can set the camera up so that you can watch. Got it set to hammer drill, don't really need that. There's one. I'll get the other one. There's two. Okay, the nut driver does fit in there all right. It's an 8mm. So let's see what happens whenever we take these out. Doesn't say anything about what order they're supposed to come out in. Boy, I really would like to not lose that. Whew. Got one. Boy, that one's way the heck in there. I don't know what you do if you drop these down in the bottom of the door. Kiss them goodbye, I guess. Holy smokes. Well, there went one right down to the bottom of the door. I guess we'll figure something out. Well, I got those three out, but now what? Doesn't seem to be loose. Something's still holding it in place. There we go. Jigsaw puzzle. How in the heck do you get this thing out of here? Hey, it's out. And There she is. So now we just got to get that cover off and insert the 3 nuts in, and I'll either try to find a way to fish the third one of these out of the bottom of the door, or maybe I'll just go back to Ace and buy another one. Alright, there's just one screw holding this cover on, so let's see if we can get that out. There we go. Gonna take a little convincing to get it off, I can tell. Just making sure there's not something else holding it on. It is got a little spot here where the metal's bent over. I'm gonna go get a hammer. Okay, all I did was take a screwdriver and a hammer and give it a couple of pops, and it came off. And now that I open this up, I see why my window wasn't going up and down. The gear that's supposed to be in there is just completely falling apart. Look at this. That is unbelievable. So my simple repair of just putting 3 nuts down in these depressions, or these holes here, isn't going to work. I'm going to have to go buy a new gear. Hopefully they've got one here in town at one of the auto parts stores. Otherwise, I will be making a trip onto the internet. Alright. Okay, now that I got it apart, I'm actually alright. I don't have to go buy anything. All of this, these weren't teeth from the gear. They were actually those bushings that are degraded and just broken apart and completely junk. And so this was down in here, and this was on top of that. This is the gear that connects to the regulator arm, and then this on the back side of this plastic piece here are the teeth that actually interact with the shaft of the motor. So, and they're okay. And so this was sitting down on the shaft. There was a washer, and then a little locking washer. So I got those off, and I did have to pry on this a little bit with a screwdriver to get it out, but then it slid out pretty easy after that. And that just slides out. And there we have it. So we'll clean this up a little bit. I've already got most of the junk knocked out of it. Clean that up a little bit, clean the inside of this up a little bit, get rid of all that gunk. Put a little grease in there. And then we'll put it back together. Okay, so we got a little grease. We're going to grease the gear here for the motor, and then we'll also grease the central shaft where the regulator arm connects. Don't want to put too much on. Get a little more here. Okay, put a little inside. Okay, so then this slides back down in there. And then let me go wipe my hands off.